Nice round of applause. Jared Padalecki and Jensen Acko.
Good morning, Seattle.
Good morning, Seattle. Did y'all sleep? That means last night was good? Yeah! Well, sadly missed it.
We missed you. We missed you.
Yeah,
I've flown from Austin. And,
it's summertime. The kids aren't in school.
Yeah.
We have an opportunity to go to sleep. That's happening.
I ordered room service, and it took a little bit longer. So by the time the guy got there, I was like, I don't even know if I'm hungry. So I went up to a bunch of, I ate most of the fries, but I didn't eat the rest of it.
It's like the hangover. Like you wake up and there's like food all over yourself. And you're like, what happened?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, yes. Thank you all for letting us come out here and say hey and play and thank you for bringing us out.
Nice to be back in the Pacific Northwest,
Yeah.
where he and I have spent
Way
many
too long.
years. Many years in this part of the world.
Yeah. Feels very cozy to us. Anybody come down from Vancouver? Really?
Nice.
Train, car, plane?
Car. It's like a 2.5 hour drive.
Apparently the train is amazing.
Really?
Yeah, right? Yeah, see?
Okay.
They got me. Well, let's start this morning off with a bang and see if anybody wants to say anything. That was a quick hand. It was trepidatious, but quick.
Hi,
Hi,
I'm actually new to fandom.
welcome.
Run.
While you still can.
Jeez. Okay. Real.
Well played.
Probably move faster than me. Still waking up.
Definitely.
Okay, Eric Brady.
Oh, yeah. Old school.
Wow.
Who? Stop, you're aging us both.
Yeah, no shit. I have a letter for you too.
You have a letter for me?
Thank you.
Let me walk over there and get it.
She likes it.
I do.
Where the fuck is my letter?
It's in the mail.
Kidding.
See, I told you. Get out now.
I'm gonna walk over to CVS and grab some stationery.
Great. I'll be here. You know where to find me. I'll take it.
I'm always gonna keep fighting, and I'm gonna work on your letter, actually.
You're gonna what? I'm sorry?
I'm always gonna keep fighting. I'm gonna work on your letter because your message of always keep fighting has meant a lot. And I will mention something to you later about that.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Because
All
I'm
right.
gonna see you a couple times today, and I will.
All right, I'll be here.
I have questions for you, Jen.
Fire away.
Yeah, whatever your name is.
Yep.
Eric
It's fine.
Jensen.
Eric Jensen, Soldier Boy, yeah, whatever.
Dean.
Oh shit, yeah, that's right. That's why we're here. Okay. Anyways, this is actually from my husband.
Okay.
We know you can sing. So, was it actually pretty fun to get up there as Soldier Boy and just destroy Rapture the way that you did?
So I pre-recorded that, right? Like I went to a recording studio one of the days I wasn't shooting with Phil Segretia, and he was sitting in the control room with the technician, and I'm literally in a recording booth, headphones on, like recording an album kind of thing. And I just remember like all the lyrics in front of me. We got the microphone, I got the headphones on, and I went through one take of it, and I was like, Phil, what are we doing? And I could see him laughing in the control room through the windows, and he's like, do it again, so good. And I just, I think it was the same day I might have done the cartoon voiceover too for the Eagle. And I just remember thinking and also I did Logical Point of View. So it was like a full day of recording. And I just remember thinking Eric Kripke is lost his mind. This is my life now. And
Did he ever have his mind?
And then, I don't know. And then Phil and I actually on a day when they were filming other things, he got a small crew. It was Phil calls it his Mystic Crew. And they go and they shoot these little kind of vignettes and stuff all around, interstitial stuff. And one of the things was the solid gold. And I remember walking onto this kind of remote soundstage. And I walked into that set, and it's all the dancers were all dressed up with the lights, and it was hard to put into words. Kind of I just kept going what's happening to me? What is happening to me right now? Well, thank you. I oddly enjoyed it when I saw the final product. I was like, okay, all right. I'm proud of that one. I'm gonna hang my hat on that one. Solid gold. Thank you, appreciate it. Yes. Get your mic. Look at that.
Hi, so Jared.
Yes.
Sorry.
Hey, see, I got one. 1-1.
Knowing what Jensen has been through with the boys and what Rob has been through.
It's only gonna get worse.
Why the fuck would you say yes to it?
I don't know. It's a great question. Well, unlike Ackles, it's not like I already am signed on. Basically, Kripke was like, I'm gonna write something, and when it's right for you, I'll tell you. So I might get to look and be like, wait, how many penises? Do what? So I guess part of me looks forward to doing something uncomfortable. I saw my mom on Friday in Austin. Odette had a little performance. So my parents came up. Mom's like, so Kripke says you're gonna be in The Boys. Don't get naked.
Has she seen any of it? Oh, see, I told my parents, I was like, you might want to skip these.
I told my parents to watch it.
You might regret that.
Jensen said you're gonna love it, Mom. Once it's seen, it's too late to ever unsee again. We'll see. We'll see a lot more. Yeah. Now my heart's racing. I made a mistake. No, I mean, honestly, the way it boils down is, Kripke is brilliant. The show is brilliant, and he served us right the first time. And I think where Ackles was sitting 4 or 5 years ago, I was like, hey, it's done well for 15 years, so why not work together again? And then Ackles and Rob and whatnot talk about how much fun they had, despite how wacky it is. And so I'm like, all right, yeah, pretty wacky, with all the definitions of that word. I see you back there. I see you smiling, black shirt. Yes. Unless you're just checking your underarm, which is also okay.
Hello, I'm Julie.
Hi.
Two.
Hi. My question is for my son. He's not here.
Okay, we'll grab him.
I'll answer for him.
From your son, not for your son. Got it.
Well, yes, from
Got
him.
it.
He is 17, and he's seen me over the years, watch your show. He has morphed into both of you. He's got your hair. He loves it.
Lucky kid.
Yes. But I'm a single mom, so he doesn't want to hear from me about dating advice. So he wants to know from both of you. What advice would you give? I told him to wrap it. Whatever else you like to offer. This is why he doesn't want to hear anymore from me.
also very important in seriousness. Great question. My oldest boy is 12. My oldest child is 12. So I'm not quite there yet on what I would say to my oldest when he does have a girlfriend right now. I don't know what that means. I don't want to think about what that means. God.
You said you're a single mom, right?
Yeah.
Are you dating?
No.
Okay. Tell him this. To treat any girl he wants to date like he would want a man to treat you.
Having been in a relationship for 16 years, be with someone you can laugh with. You know, the whole like, hey, I'm
He's
cool.
17, he's gonna laugh with anybody. This isn't like,
Maybe, hopefully.
he's not getting married.
I feel like I was in a relationship.
Probably gonna date for 5 months and move on. But it's what you do in those small, you know, because also, this is another thing too, is when you are that young and you are dating around, you're probably dating within a circle of people that know each other. And the reputation you build with one partner will for sure get told to the next partner. So
Make
use
them sign
each-
an NDA,
Yes.
non-disclosure agreement. You can never talk to anybody else about what happened here.
So treat them with respect, you know, all of that kind of stuff. But let them know, like, the way you treat this one person, the next person's probably gonna know how you did that. So each dating opportunity is an opportunity to build your character. Yeah.
Yeah, respect's a big word. Be as you respect and respect you. Thank you.
All right. Let's go. Yeah. Hey.
So, when you were doing Big Sky, between you and the female lead, there was a lot of like kind of back and forth on will they, won't they end up together, and then it got canceled and continued. When you take on your roles, do you consider the physicality and intimacy of the role with the fact that you're married? Is that something you take into account?
Good question. I haven't really been. I haven't really had a role or a storyline or something that is really challenged.
Soldier boy.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this. My wife gave me really good advice for the couple of scenes with Soldier Boy, and some, not all of them made it the final cut, but there were more. But I was nervous about it, and I was talking to her about it. And I was like, oh man, this is, you know, I don't know what this is going to be like. This is, and she said this to me. She said, as nervous as you might be for this scene that you have to do today, imagine how much more nervous the person is that you're doing it with. This is a person that has just been hired on to do this one thing. You're going to keep doing scenes. I'm going to keep doing scenes and keep working and be on the show. So that really helped me kind of put things in perspective. And then I then was able to kind of treat the situation much differently. That being said, I haven't been in like a big kind of like love relationship on screen in probably since Eric Brady. So it's not something that I've necessarily had to give much thought to this point, but I'm sure if there is a role or a project or a storyline that presents itself in the future, then that's probably a conversation I'll have to have with her. And I mean, but the good thing is that she is too an actress and has done those kinds of scenes and gets it and understands that it is so choreographed and so the intimacy and the romanticism that you see on screen is nothing like that when you're shooting it. Every move, every head tilt while you're kissing, or every hand placement, all of it is so choreographed like a dance or like a fight scene that it kind of takes that emotion out of it a little bit. So
And I think, I don't know about Dee, but for Jen, when I have a like, intimate scene or whatever, we met when we were in our mid-20s. She knows I've had exes, I know she has exes. So like the kissing on camera stuff, she's like, oh, I know how uncomfortable that is.
Yeah.
She is less comfortable with me like having a scene where I'm like, hey, I love you so much. To somebody else, she's like, I don't like that. Like the whole physicality thing, it's like, I know how weird that is. I know that nobody likes it, the crew doesn't like it, the cast is like, this is awkward. Like, hey Bill, and Frank, in your underwear, a sock.
Yeah, like you're like on the couch making out with someone, and you literally like 4 feet away is this.
Yeah.
You rolling?
So there's not the intimacy again. You see that what you see on camera. It's not how it feels when you're doing it. So yeah, I don't think that there's that worry I think from our wives necessarily. But that's a good question. Yeah.
That's a great question. I'm gonna go way over here to the farthest over here. Yes. I'm trying to see what your shirt says. Oh, is it Crowley?
Yeah.
Never mind. I'm
Oh,
gonna go.
So my question is for Jensen. It's one of your older movies, so I just wanted to ask if you remember what it was like making the movie Devour.
No way, I blocked that from my memory. Yeah, of course. I mean, each project I think we do is kind of makes a little mark. Yeah, their own little thing and their own experience. That was a unique experience for a variety of reasons, but I would say I'll give you one. They were literally changing the script while we were shooting. They were rewriting it, like not just like, oh, we're shooting these scenes in 3 weeks from now, we're writing them. They had the writer on set and was rewriting the scene while we were shooting the master. And then he'd be like, okay, we're gonna change. And I'm like, well, that changes like the whole storyline. He's like, yeah, I'll figure that out tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I was kind of young and naive enough to just be like, well, okay, I guess this is what we're doing. So it was a bit of an unfortunate situation. And I forget exactly why, because I wasn't asking enough questions. I was just like, okay, just shut up, hit your mark, and say your lines. But I think there was like, they couldn't get certain locations had fallen out. Maybe some of the money was now not showing up, so they had to rejig the whole ending, and it took on some weird storyline that we were like, what's happening now? So yeah, that was a bit of an unfortunate kind of thing, but the experience itself in doing it, like I had a lot of fun. Everybody I worked with was enjoyable, and we shot in Vancouver, which I obviously am very comfortable with. So yeah, I remember it, but it was kind of an unfortunate set of circumstances that existed while we were shooting it. So.
Was that right before Supernatural started?
It was. Yeah. All right. Yeah, far back. No, nobody else behind you. You were the last one. Yeah, yes.
Hi. My question is, what is a positive affirmation that helps get you through your day? Like something you wake up and just say to yourself to make sure it's a good day.
Well, nothing can make sure it's a good day, right?
Perspective.
No feeling is final, right? And that goes for the goods and the bads. But I think it's important to remember that you are right now exactly who you are supposed to be right now. If you had my DNA and nature and nurture, then you'd be me. And if I had your DNA and nature and nurture, then I'd be you. And so if you look in the mirror or you think to yourself, and you go like, okay, I'd like to maybe work on something or change something, that's okay, but that's not who you're supposed to be today. That's who you can work towards and see how you feel then. And there's always, like, don't let perfect be the enemy of great. And be you, you're who you're supposed to be. Everybody in here is who they're supposed to be. I'm gonna go right here, I saw you first. Black.
Me?
Yes. You that said me.
Oh, okay. So this doesn't really have anything
With what?
Sorry, I'm nervous.
You can-
Okay, so I have a question about a very old episode. It's a debate in my family. So I think it's Nightmare in season 1
Yeah.
with Max. So does Sam kill Max or to save Dean, or does Max kill himself? We argue about this episode every time it is on.
I think Max killed himself.
You think?
Yeah, that's the way I played it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Like you said.
That's a great question. That's a deep cut. I gotta go back and watch it. My recollection is that the way I felt after Brady Fletcher his character had died, that Sam felt guilt that he couldn't save him more than he made him do it.
Yeah.
But that's one thing. What he said. I'm sorry? Okay, I will. Yeah.
It is an argument with me and my son, and he is like 35. So
What does your son think that he did it?
yes, he thinks that.
No, I think he's right. I think he felt there was a guilt that he couldn't save him. So why would he feel guilty if he was the one that did it?
But I guess you go down the rabbit hole of like, did Sam unknowingly or unwittingly exercise some power over one of the other yellow-eyed demon kids?
What? What's happening?
I'll go back and watch it and try and remember. That's a great throwback. Bravo.
All right here, Vancouver, right? Yeah.
Did you fly, drive, train, walk, run, swim, boat, warp?
It's for Jared though. But thank you. I have either one for Gilmore Girls or Walker. Which one? Pick your poison.
Out of Gilmore Girls or Walker?
Yeah, pick your poison.
What I like doing better?
Which one do you want to answer? I have 2 questions. One, so pick which one.
Let's do Gilmore. Yeah.
I live in the rocks. I only
The
did
real
one
Dean.
thing. Right.
Baby Dean.
I only did watch it last year, so I just want to know why did they go that way with Dean? Because he started so baby, nice, pure little
Baby Dean.
being, right? And why? And if Supernatural hadn't happened, then what do you think would have happened to him?
So.
I love you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Honestly, and this is maybe not creatively interesting, but one of the reasons why I think, knowing what I know now, having been on the other side of the camera as a producer, I wasn't signed on to Gilmore Girls all the time. So if they knew they had me for 7 seasons or 8 seasons, they might have gone a different direction. But because I was kind of on 1-year deals, they didn't ever know, like, hey, let's develop Rory and Dean because we have Jared signed on for 5 more years, so we can develop him. You had to they had to, I think logistically, behind the scenes stuff, like the making of the sausage. But they had to kind of keep me on a precipice of like, if I did get Fantastic Four or something and had to leave, that it wouldn't be weird if like Dean and Rory are married and all of a sudden Dean's never there again. And so they had to, that's a dance that the writers and producers have to do often with different characters, is go like, damn, we love this girl, or we love this guy, we love this storyline, but he's auditioning for pilots, and if he gets a pilot, and we've had that a few times on Walker or Walker Independence even, where it's like, we'd love to do this with them, but they're not signed on. So if we write that all of a sudden they're married and they call us the day after it airs and go like, hey, I got a movie in Bulgaria, I'm not available for 9 months. Like, how do we write ourselves out of this corner? And so that's where I think it really kind of landed. Love you back, thank you.
That's a delicate balance too. Like
It's
that's
a
something
delicate
that doesn't get talked about enough. Like when a character gets hired, or a character gets written, and then they cast it, you know, the agents are always trying to push for commitment from the studio. Like, okay, we know you're not hiring on a series regular that would be in every episode, all shows produced, as it's, you know, the terminology. So they try to go, okay, well then give us a guarantee of, you know, 13 episodes, 7 episodes. Give us 5 of 10, 5 of 13. And And the studio is always trying to walk that fine line of not overcommitting, because they don't know, they can't mandate the writer to write this character in, because they have to allow the writer to be creative and do their job. So it's this really kind of odd, delicate balance between committing to characters and actors, but then also not forcing the hand of the writer to then have to write to them, because there's a lot that goes into just, oh, why didn't that storyline get, pan out the way we wanted it to? There's a lot of politics and bureaucracy that kind of go into this shit.
Yes. Agreed. Is it Mina?
That's me. Okay. Yes, who was pointing at you? Yeah, I see. She was so excited yesterday. I love your energy.
Hello.
Hey.
I'm Emma.
Hi, Emma.
Hi, Emma.
I can do this.
You got this.
You're already doing it.
Badass.
Yeah,
Anyway,
no shit.
what's it like with the buried alive scenes? Because both of you have had like similar ones, or I guess dead and then back to life, supernatural and stuff. So what's that like? And like,
Being buried alive, is that what you said?
Yeah.
yeah, like in season 4 where you come back.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Oh, I mean, what's it like emotionally, or what's it like physically?
Physically.
Physically, great. Let me tell you, yeah. So I'll give you. Some of you may have heard the story before, but I will. I'll say it again. When Kim Manners buried me, he was directing. Kim was. They built this, box, right? And I get buried alive, effectively, and then I like punch like through the box. So what they had, it was a 3-sided casket, effectively, and one side was out so that the camera could see. So I go I shimmy myself into this thing, and then on top of the box, I'm like punching through this. They made it out of balsa wood so that I could actually not break my hand. But as soon as I punch through, all this dirt comes down, right? That wasn't dirt. It was crushed up Oreos. Here's what wasn't about it. I didn't have any earplugs in. And as soon as the dirt hit, your reaction is to turn your face, right? I was digging Oreo out of my ear for like a week.
Until like season 10.
Yeah.
You're still like,
Actually,
I'm hungry.
Oh, look, there's some right here. So
There's some right there right now.
that sucked, and it forever changed my relationship with that cookie. And then climbing out of at the location, they dug this deep hole, and then they built this kind of, it was a neoprene, so like a wetsuit that had two, as a layer, so that they could pile dirt and sod and stuff on it. And then underneath the neoprene was this wooden box that they had built inside the ground. And unfortunately, it was like 85 degrees that day. And they forgot to cut holes so that I could breathe. So I climb into this thing, shut the thing, they layer all the dirt on it, and then I just start to melt. Like it's like a hot box in there. And then I can barely hear it, like, action. I don't know if that was action. I'm coming out, and then I had to like crawl through the neoprene, then get my hand out of the thing. I come out, I'm sweating like profusely, so all the dirt and grass and mud is just like sticking to my face, and it was so fun. Thank you, Emma, for bringing that horrible traumatic memory back up.
Same.
Yeah, he's probably similar, right?
Similar. I had talked to him, and so he mentioned earplugs, and so I had wax in my, on purpose, like little wax,
The wax plugs.
wax plugs and in my nose. For me, I wasn't in a box. They dug a hole in the ground, and then they had me lay in there, and they buried me with actual dirt just everywhere up to like my jawline and my forehead. And then they were like, hey, once you're ready, and I'm sitting there, and I'm not claustrophobic, just by chance, thank God. But then they had...
Thank God, because we've been in some serious situations.
But they had crushed up Oreos, crushed up granola, and crushed up pretzel sticks, because I was out in the woods, and so they didn't want it to look so obviously different than the brown dirt, because Oreos are pretty dark, And so they mixed it all up, but then they were like, you want a straw? And I was like, no. And I knew for weeks ahead, and so I've been working on my breath holding at YouTube, like how to increase how long you can hold your breath. And I got to a point where I'd be in my pool in my backyard and I could float for like 2 minutes and be fine. But your heart's not going. You're not like, oh God, and you're under, a foot of dirt and crap, and you're like, okay, I'm pretty sure I can hold my breath for like 20, 30 seconds in this situation. And so we did it. They were like, okay, we're gonna roll cameras. Okay, Jared, we're rolling, you good? I was like, yep. I'm like, hey, tell us when you hold your breath. And I couldn't move my hands because there's so much weight, like there's no leverage. And so I was like, So they put the last of the Oreo, pretzel, granola mixture on my face, and luckily I was right out. We probably did it like 2 or 3 times just for different angles. And Kobe and Jeff had to get me out of it. And Kobe had injured his back and had kind of been like a couple months prior, and it would go out sometimes. And so it was a weird situation, but Jeff Pierre is like Thor, you know what I mean? He's like the Hulk. He's like, I got him. I was like, cool. And so when they called action and threw the dirt, or the fake dirt on my face, Kobe just like went to clearing out my mouth so I could breathe. You can't breathe through your nose because I have plugs in there. And then Jeff just like reached in, he's like, gotcha.
Yeah, he yanked you up. You came up quick, I remember. I will say though that that's generally how you get Jared and I to do anything, is just tell us that everything's made of food. All right, we gotta go, guys. We'll go see you in a little bit, okay?